Hey Noodleheads, I'm Andres, and this is a new thing I'm gonna do with the channel, and maybe start another channel later on. But I'm gonna call this At the Table Podcast, and I have a guy that's gonna be my co-host.
Axel Salcido. This is basically gonna be a health, lifestyle, gym kind of podcast that we're gonna be shooting for a little while. Maybe it blows up, and who else other than the man Austin, Maine, to be on this
Very first episode of At the Table Podcast, and today at the table,
the man
Austin,
of fucking Clinton.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool. I think I'm always down to support anybody that's trying to do something. Like, bro, we live in a small town. Like, people don't try to do nothing. Like, they just want you to just sit there and be like everybody else.
Yeah,
just
small-minded people.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like, and knowing that, I'm like, there's got to be people just like us here that are all thinking the same way. I'm just trying to figure out how to get them together.
Yeah,
bro, I think y'all are doing a good job of doing it too.
I have a really crazy story about that. How you said there's people, but we don't know them because they're. But there's this guy that I met. His name was, I don't know his name. Let's just say his name was Martin or something. But he was like skinny, tatted everywhere, and he looked like a rock star, like Daft Punk type of guy. Me and Ishmael, I actually met him through Ishmael. He lives here and he does like embroidery work, custom stuff. I don't know. You might know him. I don't know. Anyways, one day Ishmael hits me up. And he's like, hey, you want to go drink? And I'm like, I hadn't drank in a while. I was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. And he takes me kind of a little past Bessie. And then you turn on the road right there and you go down out to the country 5 minutes. And there's this big ass house, like a big ass mansion. I'm like, bro, where are we at?
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, bro, where are we at? He's like, you'll see. He didn't tell me all this. He's just like, you want to go drink? And long story short, this guy was like, he'd been living there, and what he did was he made custom stuff for famous ass people, like Young Thug, Gunna, The Weeknd's girlfriend, and The Weeknd. He made a jacket for The Weeknd or The Weeknd's girlfriend. I don't remember what he said, but she or he wore it on the halftime show. Remember The Weeknd for the halftime show at the Super Bowl?
Yeah, not this.
He made that, and then
what was it, last year or the year before that?
The year before that.
Okay.
But yeah, and I was like, he was telling us all his stories, and he was showing us his contacts, and I was like, damn, you're
like
legit.
He was legit.
Yeah,
it wasn't he wasn't cap. Y'all were 100% like this.
Yeah,
is legit.
Yeah. I checked him too. I wasn't just gonna believe him, you know. And then I just got to asking him. I was like, why Clinton, bro? Why are you here? Like, you have contacts out of for anybody, and you're here. And he's like, I got tired of the city life. He went to LA, New York, everywhere.
Be here because it's just chill.
It's
easy
chill.
going. He's already well taken care of. Like,
at this point, it's really him.
It's like his retirement.
Taking care of himself.
Yeah.
No, really, yeah. And it's how you said that everyone needs to come. You're trying to get everyone, come
and that's
together.
crazy. I never would have thought
that
guy was here.
No.
Yeah.
It's so random. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are there, 11,000 people probably in Clinton?
And give or take around there.
And if of that, there's no way any of us know more than maybe 2,000 at the most.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like that's a stretch. There's a lot of people in Clinton. If you really think about that, we don't know everybody. It's
right.
Not
you know faces and stuff like that, but as actually really knowing people,
you don't.
Yeah. Which, in my opinion, sometimes the small towns are kind of worse because how you said everyone just sits down and does nothing, but when someone does stand up and do something, they kind of
get backlash.
Get backlash, and it's just kind of it's harder to grow in a small town because of the backlash you get. People say they want to see growth and new environments in the town, in the city, whatever. But when someone actually starts to do something,
it's they don't get support from
exactly,
and they get blackballed in their own city.
And how you were saying earlier, you have people that dislike you that you don't know. Exactly, and it's just kind of
for doing something good.
Yeah, it's not like you're here selling drugs and things like that.
No,
you're here trying
literally helping people
lifestyle athletes.
It's hey, what do you want to achieve? okay, cool. Here's how we're gonna go do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, you get down, you make the plan, which I mean, really, a man with a plan is. I mean that, and action is really. I mean.
Yeah, like that goes. I know what you're saying. As like they envy you. They kind of envy you because like I'll go record at Anytime Fitness here with the camera. Everybody's gonna be like looking and like kind of like what is he doing? Because I did that with my phone, and imagine with that. But I go to the city with my last video I did.
And everybody's like, "Oh, this is dope."
Yeah, what are you doing? Like they subscribe, bro.
Yeah,
and like
what do you like?
A lot of people don't
they want to root for it. They're like, "Damn, this is cool." Like I want to root for this, and then when you're in town, it just don't be like that.
I don't know why.
Man, I got in kind of trouble a while back. On Facebook, I put something like, "Even Jesus couldn't perform miracles in his hometown."
Damn.
And
Damn,
people were like,
that sparked some stuff.
Mom, I'm pretty sure my mom texted me and was like, "You need to take that down," because I knew like in my head exactly who like it was targeted and this, that, and the other. It's just like, in which you start to learn like you shouldn't even. That should never even affect you when you're trying to grow things and do other stuff. You know?
Right.
Because if it's true, like if your brain gets stuck on any of that, it's like, you know, if you wake up and your first thought's negative, your day is probably going to be a shitty day. Now, if you can wake up, you go in the bathroom, you grab a toothbrush, and you're like, man, I remember when I stole this. Like, I remember when I had to steal this, and now I can use it.
Okay, but what about whenever you wake up, you say you're going to have a good day, then your day starts rolling, and then something bad happens, you're like, oh, yeah, it's going to be a bad day. What about that type of situation, though?
I feel like if somebody, like, wakes up and they really have, like man, it's going to be a good day, it's going to be the best day ever, like, what's the best way to put it? Like, you got to expect good things to happen. So, like, I feel like that would be that person, and then, like, something shitty happens. I just finished a book. He ate it, a lot of it. A lot of it. He ripped the cover and everything. I was sick about it. But it talked about that situation and really just going through of having to see everything as, the book's called Everything's Here to Help You.
Okay.
And so to literally be like, if this shitty thing happens that day, it's like you've got to find when that comes in, how do you catch it? And then how do you change it to be like say, for example, you get rear-ended and you're like, man, it's going to be a shitty day. Instead, it's like that happens and you're like, man, there's about to be a wreck up here that was going to I was going to be T-boned. Like, this just kept me from one of the worst things ever that could happen. This was so good. I can't believe this happened. Like, man, I'm thankful for this. And that is so hard to do.
Oh, yeah.
So hard
to do. I mean,
because when something bad goes,
you're like, you're sick.
Yeah. But then, obviously, I mean, like how the book explained, you got to
find ways to just be like, no, this is how it's supposed to be. Like,
right.
That's how I've been, like, with being here all the time. Lately, it's been like, as part of me, like, I see some of my friends, like, you know, do have nice things now, like, are in their careers and, like, you know, established. And it's like, well, damn, like, when do I get to do that?
Yeah.
Like is it always just going to be about taking care of other people, or one day does that somehow take care of me?
But at the same time, with that, like, yeah, you think, like, when is this going to happen to me? But you got to be ready for when it happens to you. You can't just think, like, when, because one day it's not going to be when, it's going to be it.
It is that
and
day.
And then, like, what are you going to do? You're going to be stuck? Like, you know,
that was
what
like,
you
do? Just knowing that, though, like, lately that's been, like, the thing I was struggling with. It's like, man, well, when's my time? When's my time? When's my time? And finally, it's like, as soon as you just go, like, it doesn't matter, everything starts clicking.
Yeah, just
because that's like how, as soon as I quit worrying about any of it and was just like, I'm going to just be here. I'm going to find a way to be thankful to be here. Like, it gets like, usually here, it's like, I don't hear from nobody. I forget that everybody's around. Like, I can reach out to everybody anytime.
Yeah.
And I'm always like in my head, like, constantly. And so I forget to do that. And so then you get stuck and you're like, damn, you're the only one. Like, you're just you. It's just you and you. Like, ain't nobody around like you. Nobody's doing nothing. Nobody wants to go do something.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it's always cool to get reminders too, like, whenever it does happen. But I really think that you got to come to the point first of, like, you got to just not care. And as soon as you finally just like, okay, whatever it is, it is.
Yeah.
Like, boom, it's just like magic starts.
Yeah. That's like exactly how I feel right now. That's crazy. Like,
I really think, like,
you're like explaining my feelings.
It's like the harder you try at something, the worse it gets. Almost.
Yeah, sometimes, you just kind of got to let things do. I mean, if you're putting in the work into something, you're putting in the time, and with anything else, you're being honest, genuine, whatever, and whatever career, whatever you're doing, I think everything else comes with it. I mean, it just comes along as time goes.
Absolutely.
So,
like, you can't outrun.
You can't force anything, really. So it's like, I mean,
Yeah.
It's really how it is. But there's another book that I actually ordered, the No Fucks Given or something like that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I've heard really good things about it. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'm gonna give it a shot and see what.
Isaiah, my buddy who did he did the Cincinnati video for us. The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. That's what it is.
Yep, that's what it is.
I remember he had read that and he was it helped him a lot. He always had a hard time saying no to things.
Yeah.
And so it got him to where it's just like it's easier to just like, nah, like this is what I need to do. This doesn't fit with that plan. I'm sorry, I love you, but like I need to do this right now.
But then you get people like that can't take no, and then they're like, oh, then fuck you then. Like,
then you realize that ain't person you're supposed to even worry about in the first place.
Yeah.
Because real people, like, I remember when I was in college, like, I figured it up. I stole well over $4 or $5 grand in groceries in college from Walmart. I had to, like.
He said I had to.
I didn't want to eat ramen and stuff because I saw what, like, if you go in the grocery store and you look at somebody's cart, you can literally look at the cart of the quality of their food, and that a lot of times is going to correlate exactly to the way their life is. Mm. Like, you come and you see all this pop, and you see all the sweets and this, that, and that. Like, usually that's something that's probably on food stamps, which, no offense, like, I was a food stamps kid, so like, no offense.
No, right.
But it's like, that is, that. You see somebody come in and they have like a really good healthy basket and this, that, and the other, and it's like, you look at, and usually they resemble what's in there. Like they're usually more well established. Their stress is usually a little bit lower. They're all that, like, they're taken care of.
Right.
And so I made that correlation in college, and I was like, I ain't never getting the ramen noodles and all this stuff because I thought that it would make me like somehow regress.
Oh yeah.
And so I was like, no, I'm gonna eat good because I want to get to where these people are. So I'm gonna try coffee.
You're trying to do the same thing they're doing, which, dude, to be honest, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's so easy to finesse stuff at Walmart.
Oh god,
dude, but
you're doing it too,
bro.
I'm not the only one paying for my shit.
I couldn't tell you like if you had me count up like 10 friends right now, I would at least say 9 of the 10 are currently finessing or have.
Yeah. And so,
how?
Dude,
like,
what's crazy? Like, there was one time where I did it
underwater,
like completely like on accident. So when
you walked out with all of it.
Oh fuck no. So like, you know how like the Gatorades come in like the packs, like you can get them in like packs of 8, and you just grab them by the handle. So I would set them on the cart, like in between.
I know what you're talking about.
Not actually in the cart, but like hanging on the side. And there'd be so many times where I go and check out, forget to scan them. I just walk out with them. And then, I mean, I'm not purposely doing it.
But then you're like, well,
like, I just got away with that. And I'm just like,
let me do it again.
No, there's been many times where I've done that. And by the time I get to my car and I'm loading everything up, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I didn't pay for this.
I remember, like, I would purposefully get up early because I was married at the time. Because when I was in college, I was also married. And so I remember getting up. I'd get up early before she'd get up, and I'd go get our groceries. So she wasn't saying, like, did you pay for it? Did you not? Let me see the receipt, all this stuff. Like, bro, I was just trying to
make it.
I was just trying to make it.
Yeah, I mean.
I remember, like, my mom, whenever she found out, she's just like, you just tell me you need help. In my head, though, like, I really thought everybody was, like, really, really struggling. Like, I had a really, really bad relationship with finances. Like, I thought that everybody lived on a budget that was dialed into the penny. Like, I thought that's how it was for people.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't realize it wasn't like that. So even if I'd go out to eat with my parents, like, they'd be like, get whatever you want. Like, and I wouldn't, because I thought that, like, if I did that, that meant that they had to not, like, now they can't have something because I just got that.
Yeah.
I really thought it was, and then I realized later on, like, no, like, it's
like
it's just when you're like really starting life, and like it's rough, and everybody has to go through it.
And like, I mean, that's the thing too. The last time, every time that I would go away for 2 months, I mean, I would come back and work out when I would be back here at your other
at the old place.
Yeah,
I think there's a video of you. I was going through it the other day. I think it's you and David, and it was reverse band squat peaking. I remember because you were the first person I saw do low bar. You were doing low bar. Yeah, red bands up top. You and David, and I remember both y'all were over 400 on. I just don't remember what y'all hit.
Yeah, no, that was a while
That was
ago.
a long time ago. It's still in my head.
Yeah, those were fun times. It's just I miss doing all that. I want to get back into the powerlifting aspect of everything and actually compete. Like I have it in the back of my head that I will go and compete again at some point.
Bro, compete this winter.
Damn.
Where
Challenge, bro.
Go to the Devil Fort Dishonor meet. I'm gonna go do a raw meet this
Are
winter.
you?
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
Tulsa
I'm not a good raw lifter at all. Like I had a 750 squat, but that was a multi-ply gear squat.
Oh, okay.
Like my raw squat, like I'm just now 500.
Raw?
Just now, yeah. That's way less than 750.
Right, but I remember whenever we were at your old place and you were telling me
I was
and
just trying to
David,
get to 400.
and then whenever and your next goal was 500 and you thought that was so far away.
Mm-hmm.
He's at 500 now, and it's crazy. Someone from the outside, obviously, when you are the person, it's like, oh, I just keep going. But those reminders are nice. I remember you saying that 500 was so far away, but you're at 500 now,
and that's the weird thing too. So I was talking with some multiply lifters. So it's like I've had 750 on my back, but it was with the gear. Your body knows that, and it's strong. You just got to it's two different techniques.
Yeah.
You squat one way in briefs and gear, and you squat it's a little bit different without it because you can't push into the gear to create tension. You have to use your muscles to create that tension for you. And so I asked, I was like, okay, so the first raw max I took after being out of gear and getting out of briefs for the first time in 2 years was horrible. It was 465. Like, and for me that had just squatted 750 2 months before that, I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God.
What the hell is going on?
So I was asking people what was up, and like they're like, oh, don't worry about it. I was like, well, when would I squat 600? They're like, oh, train like a year and you can squat 6 raw. So I really think if people will train in gear, it can still carry over to their raw stuff.
Yeah.
So like I mess with that with one of the high school kids here. Like I'm just trying to see like what will happen.
See,
Mark and Fredo.
I've actually never.
You've never even been in briefs, have you?
No.
Squat?
No. The only thing that I guess would be considered like equipped was I've used wraps, knee wraps. But as far as anything else higher than that, that's it. Because I have a set of actual.
So because like we would. I'm trying to remember the old place. Like sometimes we would do like reverse band lifts. Like we'd get overloads that way.
Well, we would do that. Yeah.
But it was never like you were putting on briefs or you've never been in a bench shirt. Yeah.
No bench suits. No suits. Nothing. I mean, obviously singlets are raw, but I mean, yeah.
Y'all talk about singlets. I have no idea what that is.
Basically,
like,
think of a wrestling singlet. You know what guys wrestling?
Yeah, like it literally is like that. That's what you have to lift in. I don't understand.
I've seen that.
After 18 and up, you have to compete in a powerlifting meet in a raw competition. You have to compete in a singlet.
You say raw, but like, can you use a belt?
Yeah.
So raw, there's raw with sleeves and raw with reps.
Oh, okay.
So raw, there's one division that uses knee sleeves. There's another division that uses knee wraps.
Right.
So those are your two raw. Then you have single ply, which is like you get some like equipment that helps you lift more.
Okay.
Then you get multiply, which is a division even that helps you can put stuff on to get even more weight. When people take 1,300 pound benches, I don't remember what the hell his name was. He did it in a band shirt. Bench press 1,300 pounds. It's in a shirt, but he still like does 700 raw.
Right.
Like he's strong as hell.
Yeah.
But
regardless,
I can't fathom 1,300 pounds sitting over your body. Like you gotta be crazy to even think to do that. Like literally, if that drops, like you are dead.
Fuck.
Like I'm sorry, I don't care how big you are, how strong you are. Like that falls, that's it.
But that's with like everybody around him, or
you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. You can have like 5, 6 spotters for that.
But still, like if his hand slips,
instantly,
the 1,300 pounds falling on him, the spotters may catch it if you have really good attentive spotters. But honestly, like generally
in most
speaking,
gyms you don't have that.
Like all the competitions that I competed in, there were just like helpers, like guys that were like, "Hey, you guys want to come help?"
Bro, it's like people that should not be spotting.
Yeah, like you guys want to, like someone that has never squatted before is spotting you, which is kind of scary, you know.
Man, I think this is so weird. I remember maybe it was my freshman year of college, possibly. What year did you graduate? 19. Maybe that was my sophomore year.
You're gonna say
I
you
remember
substituted.
coming to Arnie's.
Yeah.
Coming in there. I knew you lifted for some reason, but I don't remember how.
I carried
Maybe through Juan, and you had a water jug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I carried a water
I think
jug.
Juan, because Juan would work out with me and Roki some.
Yeah,
I think Juan would say like.
And I remember one time we got talking about that,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to get Juan to come over.
Yeah.
And I mean,
man,
Juan,
we all tried to get him too.
Yeah, and Juan's doing good for himself.
He's a hard ass worker.
And he's a hard ass. I mean, he has a kid now, which I mean, yeah, that's awesome for him. But I mean, his life has changed tremendously too. But that's how I got to know like then of you.
Yeah.
And then finally I started going to your place with David. That's who it was. David got me into going in there too. But
I never knew you, but I knew of you. Because if you were like the quarterback, you know, like who doesn't know?
People really thought I was an asshole in high school. And I'm very, very, very shy. Like very, like extreme.
No, for real. I know.
Like
exactly
whenever I go, it's hard for me to go to games for our kids. Even though I'm like, I can text their parents and be like, hey, are you going to the game today? Blah, blah, and just go sit with them. Well, like this last time I forgot to say like, where are you guys sitting at? And so like, I never found the parents. I'm just chilling there by myself, feeling awkward as can be. Like, stay through like 3 innings of baseball game and finally I'm like, all right, they know I came. I'm out. Like, I'm out. Because I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
It was like I was just stuck. I couldn't go find them because it made me feel weird to go looking because I'd already gone looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just weird.
The competitions you compete in, are those just like private meets? Or are they?
So that one in Indianapolis was part of, I think their APF. It's a
federation.
Yeah. I liked how all their stuff was. I don't know what Depth Before Dishonor.
I've competed only. I've only competed in AAU.
So when you're young,
you
haven't done the meets yet after.
Yeah. So I think.
What were your best numbers in high school?
In high school, like competition or
like
in
competition.
Gym? Competition. I think my deadlift. See, I was at 148-pound weight class.
Yeah.
I had a 417 deadlift.
Hang on.
Was this before you graduated high school?
Yeah, this was before I graduated high school. I had a 307, 305, 307 squat. And then my bench was actually not that good. I think I had like a 203-pound bench.
That's not bad. That's just high school, chilling.
Which was
and 148 pounds.
And that's funny because
your competitive weight, like honest to God, it would probably be like at least 220s. Your best weight would be somewhere between 220 and the 270s because of how tall you are to make your leverages optimal.
Right.
I say that, but at the same time, like you have long arms like me, like you can pull, and so it's like you don't want to get too big because then you take that strength away.
Right.
Maybe 220. 242.
See, we're slowly working our way up. I mean, now I'm sitting at like 168, 170.
Oh, you're in a good spot.
So now it's just really strength building back up to where I was. Because even if I don't get to the numbers that I want to be, I still want to go back in and hop in a competition and just try it out.
That's what
I wouldn't even care about beating anybody else. I just want to. I mean, really compete.
And that's all it is.
Yeah.
That's like I was really nervous about this winter because it's like I wanted to be able to, I wanted to be able to squat 6, pull 680, and then press 400. Like those are the numbers I want to go when I do a raw meet. They're just like I don't know. I really don't know if it's possible, and I won't know until then. But if I'm always just focused on that and like worried about that all the time, you can't control that. You can control on the daily. Did you hit PRs on this, that? Did you hit your sleep? Did you hit your meals? Like you can control those, and as long as you do those, that end result will eventually be there.
Right.
It's like I feel like in lifting, like we get really worried about like what is the number going to be like this, that, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just it's just for fun.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's sitting there making money.
No, yeah, that's true. How many meets have you done?
I've only done one. That was my first one. I went from never doing a meet.
Kind of recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, November.
Oh, okay. And where was that one at?
It was Indianapolis.
Because see, I've been seeing you going all over the place, so I didn't know exactly where that was.
We've been seeing you go all over the place, but some of the people watching the video haven't seen you. So you want to like kind of explain where you've been, like to the places and meets and stuff, and
for sure,
stuff like that.
So I guess that it started not this last summer, but the summer before. 1, 2, even summer before that, 3 summers ago.
Damn.
I took my first trip I went up to Michigan and Ohio. I was trying to figure out how to do stuff with the athletes better. And so I was trying to go to gyms that I knew like that's what they did and they were like really good at it. I don't even know why they would talk to me. Like I literally was just like, hey, I'm driving from so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I'd love to be able to come talk with you on this gym, blah, blah, blah. That's what we're trying to learn. Cool, yeah, just come on up. Like, didn't charge me a dime, let me come in all day, hang out, train, like all kinds of shit. Like that's crazy. Like you don't see that in the business world very often. And so I go all the way up to Michigan on the Great Lakes, and I came down to Newark, Ohio, which is right outside of Columbus. I still go visit him almost every time I go to Cincinnati. I go see him.
Oh, okay.
He was a West Side lifter. He's retired now, and he's just running. He has his own facility. You know, they train athletes, adults, all of it, and he's happy as can be. So I love going to see him. Yeah. But then we've gone over to California, down to Atlanta a few times. God, where else have we been? Columbus, of course, Cincinnati, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. I think that's
El
that's
Paso,
all.
I guess.
Yeah, El Paso with Mark. Yep.
Damn.
So I want to make a shirt that has like all the logos of the gyms that we've been, and like I think that'd be dope.
No, I think that
and like really just give it like give that one out. Like don't even, because like you could do limited edition, blah blah blah, and like make money off it. But I think that would just be one that's like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Like you've been around, like you know. Like, I think that's one of those. It's just cool.
Out of all those gyms and cities and everything, what was the best city individually, and what was the best gym?
Best city. I'll go best gym first. Best gym. I honestly.
And you can't say Cincinnati just because of that guy, but like you can't.
But I am gonna say Cincinnati, bro. Like so they have the CrossFit gyms. They have CrossFit Conjugate. It's like that was what I did originally. I did CrossFit. After sports were over, I started doing CrossFit. It's like that. I'll still do stuff like that here and there. They've trained like tons of games athletes, like top of the top.
Yeah.
So they have this facility. Then they also have Sweatshop right beside it, which is like their personal training facility that has and they're powerlifters. Dude, they have everything. Every single piece you could possibly think of is in there. Like that's like what Shane prides it on, is like he's like, I have every tool. Like I have every tool. I have every tool available.
Yeah.
It's because it's what it is. Like you literally can take a body and craft it. Like being there has taught me so much. Like, it changed everything. Like honestly,
your whole perspective coming out
it's different after that. Once you start to learn, like for me, because I was fascinated with West Side barbell stuff. Like it's just fascinated me. Yeah. Like I'd be up at night at 2 a.m. on school nights just watching their stuff. Like I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Trying to learn everything I could about it. And then you end up getting to go, and then you end up with all around it. And then you start to learn like what really made it that way.
Yeah.
Like one is the environment, and then two, they also the programming. It is a program, but it's not. They learned how to use the principles of the program, and that's what took a lot of them to the next level. It was just wild. Like but the best lifters have absolutely like no governor, like no fear. Like it's just whatever. Like they think they just think they can do it, so they do.
Yeah.
It's just wild.
They leave it at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the best city?
Best city. Oh, it wasn't one that my favorite city that I had stopped in. I didn't go to anywhere there, but Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is so nice. Like when I'm like 40s, 50s, and like I'm just ready to go like chill, I want to move to Pittsburgh.
For real,
it's so nice. Like when I was a kid, I went. And so it was a cool experience to like go back this time, like older, like by myself.
Yeah,
like
do what you want.
I usually take a journal everywhere I go, and like I wrote so much while I was there, just like going back to old spots I remembered as a kid, and like trying to pair that up. It was really good for me, because I was really struggling right then, just like with everything. Like, is this really what I'm supposed to do? And am I not? Like what is my life doing?
Yeah.
And then it's like, damn, like, yeah, like you just need to keep doing this. Yeah. Like, it was cool. I stayed downtown in Philly, and that was kind of weird. I was not a fan.
Why?
Really?
I just did not like their downtown area at all.
Really?
There's Cincinnati it's okay. It's like there's nothing really exciting usually going on there. Bakersfield was nice, being in California. That I like it there. El Paso is probably my favorite just because the people that I go with usually down there. Like in terms of like city experience itself, because when you're with people, it's different.
Oh yeah.
Like we all went together to since like Cal and Isaiah Gunner, I think went to Cincinnati together, and we all took trips up to Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and Atlanta. Like those were fun because like you're with your buddies and like you go out and do stuff. Like a lot of it was just solo, and so it was just always by myself. Like I had a lot of time to spend with myself. Like really get to know who I was, even though I didn't realize I was at the time.
Yeah,
But
I think
later
that's
on,
really important too. Your development, and
Everybody's
character, and everything.
absolutely, absolutely. I feel like everybody should have time to like be able to just
Truly
just
find
go.
themselves.
Yeah, 100%.
But what like made you want to start MAP? Like, or not even MAP, before it was MAP. Why MAP? And like, what made you want to start? You know, I want to do a gym. Like, I want to make my own gym, and then I want to go to Cincinnati or go to different gyms and like do that.
I think originally I got to work with the basketball team, the Cordell basketball team, and I was kind of like, it's kind of cool. Like in high school, I would try to learn stuff and find other ways to do everything, and I did that with them. I went and got a certification through Power Athlete, and I was like, maybe this would maybe it's something I could do. Like I always thought I was going to be like I originally went to school for athletic training, and I ended up like I don't do athletic training. I get to do the fun stuff. I don't have to sit there and tape an ankle and this and that.
Yeah.
And so it started with that. I remember I was doing stuff. I was at a CrossFit gym. I was working with Roki at the time. Like Roki's stupid strong.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's cool dude too.
Like he was getting strong back then, but like I'm like stupid now. Like squat 665 or something. Like raw, just no knee sleeves, and like just boop to the basement and up. Like press 460, like stupid stuff. But we started doing stuff back then that it was me and him trying to figure out the first stuff, which is now it's phase 1 here is what it's called. Back then you didn't know that that's what it was going to turn into.
Yeah.
There's that piece of all that is still part of what we do today. Yeah.
Nice.
But he, guess we did that. And then I was training some kids at the Clinton, and I was training them out of the weight room, and somebody got mad about it because I was making money doing it.
Oh, wow.
And so they told me I had like a month to get out. Like, okay, like, we just need to find something. And so I was like, there was nothing available in Clinton. And at the time, like, I guess we named it at the time, like there was MAP or Maine Athletic Performance. I was sitting in class one day and I was trying to figure out, like, what could I name this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, Maine, MAP, roadmap. Okay, maps take you to destinations. Okay, MAP, MAP. Maine Athletic, sweet, it all fits.
I mean, it sounds really good too.
I didn't even think of the roadmap thing. That's smart.
It was like originally that's what I thought it was going to be. Was like somehow we're going to take the original logo on this place. It's the backdrop of it has like Clinton, Weatherford. It has the county map behind it.
City.
Of all of it. Yeah. Because my original plan was to try to get athletes from like all the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Which happened. Like I think we had 11 different high schools that come here. So
that's pretty.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What high schools do you have that?
Like Sayre, everything within a 45-minute radius, from Sayre that way to Hinton up there.
Damn.
And everything in between. So Thomas, Hydro, Clinton, Weatherford, Elk City, Merritt, Sayre,
Like the students or like the
Canute,
or like
the students, the athletes. Yes.
Okay.
That'd be dope if you could figure out how to get like people our age to do that.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I wouldn't drive.
Yeah, that's what I'm
30 minutes for a gym, unless it was something that I like I need what's in there. Like if I lived, 30 minutes from the gym in Cincinnati, like of course I would drive 30 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But
I think whenever like you'd say you have students and stuff, like they don't just come here for nothing. Like they must have heard something, and they like you're doing something because they're not just like you said. They're not just driving 45 minutes. Like they know
that's
they're
a lot of gas money on mom and dad part. Like not only are they paying like gyms, but they're also paying that. They're trusting their kid with like it's a lot when you really think about it. It's like
it's more than investment. Coming here, paying, working out, things like that.
Yeah, a lot of them become like really good friends here too. Like be from like Burns Flat and end up being friends with people from like Thomas, like just random stuff.
Or people,
Like I'll see the kids, like I'll get on Instagram sometimes, like I'll see them out doing stuff together, and I'm like, that's just so weird to me. Like that'd have been so cool in high school. Like imagine if like there had just been a place where you went and lifted with kids from all kinds of other schools.
That's what you're creating.
see, that's actually
Like that'd be dope.
you're creating like lifelong friendships right there.
Yeah.
I mean, and you're the reason why. So like, I mean that is pretty.
That's
pretty
like
amazing.
you didn't even plan on that. You didn't sit
hell
there
yeah.
and think like, yeah, these kids are gonna become friends and they're gonna.
Nah,
Yeah, you didn't think
Yeah.
of that. It just
You-
happened.
You're originally thinking of it all as just like, okay, we need to find how do we make performance of this. And you get through and like I can sit down now and in 5 minutes, probably faster than that, tell you like, is this person really going to be this or are they going to be like this? Like it's easy to pinpoint it. After you've seen it, it's easy to know. Just basically the drop of a hat. And 99% of the time, people aren't going to go be this MLB, NBA, NFL, yada yada. They're just not. It's just not. That isn't in them. It might be something they think that they want to do, but it's not really. Like whenever you really want to do something, it takes every single thing. And so like the thing that I would put it as is like take all the things that you really love and care about. Okay, put those together. Would you be willing to say no to all of that just for this one thing? When you're young, you're like, oh yeah, like I don't. As you get older, like when it starts getting time to do that, it's like
you get attached to something.
You don't.
throw it
Yeah,
away.
like it's not like there's not. There's one Kobe Bryant. Kobe was doing by the time like age of 11 or 12 was whenever he said, I'm going to be an NBA. I'm going to be one of the greatest NBA basketball players of all time. At the age of 12.
Yeah,
He knew from then on, and that's all he chased. That's what it took. So it didn't matter what anything else was going on. Everything was just basketball. It wasn't my friends are doing this or my family has a vacation. It was basketball. Basketball.
That Mambo's mentality.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, and that's not, like, I don't think everybody can do that. I don't think it's for everybody, which is okay. Like, I think a lot of people just they come to realize, like, they don't need all this or all that. They're just having both. Like, they need parts of everything.
Yeah, and then I mean,
as
as you get
so
You're
excuse
good.
me, y'all can keep talking though.
as you get older, I mean, life gets thrown at you too. So it's like,
Oh, yeah.
so more different things. There's more variables.
Like, you don't sit there and think, I'm going to be, you could use you and your girl, like, how long have y'all been together?
We've been 4 years.
Like, you don't think when you're 13 years old, oh, yeah, I'm going to have this relationship for 4 years and then, like, and that's going to be the rest of my life. Like, you've never even thought of that at that age. And so it's like if it was actually you're going to live or actually you're going to have this relationship, actually is going to have this relationship. Like, that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, we need social and I think some people, though, are truly born to pursue just that.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like, that is their actual life purpose, and that's why they're happy to do it.
Yeah. And do you plan on staying here in Clinton, buying a house here in Clinton or
Yukon.
Yukon?
Me too. Later on.
Go. So I would commute back and forth 4 days a week, and then eventually that would be like my end goal would have me. Eventually, like I will have somebody that runs, that like manages this place, head coach of like athletes, head coach of adults, then like all the sub jobs are like get other people take care of it. Like I'm just chilling. Like I just make every now and then checking to make sure things go good, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I plan on opening another facility.